Aloha, aloha, half a day. I tried to do a live on Facebook twice. It didn't work, so I'm recording this here and I will upload it as I can. So, welcome to my flat. I am back now. The signal just wasn't strong enough here. So this is the remnants of what's left. I pulled up the carpet finally. I would say, I would guesstimate there was probably about 2 inches or so of water. The padding was completely soaked. It's usually glued down, as you can see, but it came up pretty easily because the glue comes undone, right, when it's wet. Now, I'm going to go over here, and of course, aside from the seepage, the cement actually is very tacky, as in cement comes off onto your feet. It's very slippery right now because it's still drying. I'd say there's probably about maybe 1/4 of an inch of water left. I swept up as much as I could, and it's going to have to dry out the rest now. But aside from this here, of it seeping through from all the rain, obviously it absorbed in there, and the dry rot that's here. I know Bridge, who owns the property management company who owns this flat. I know they haven't been able to get back to me, and I could not, after three days and 3 nights being in this stench. It was affecting my health. I woke up with a gargly throat. I've had mild headache off and on. Part of it was sleep, part of it was that I've been breathing this in, and so is Akasha, God bless her. So it's trying to dry out. The dry spots that you see here is basically where I lifted up the carpet, and it seems to be dry, and it seems to be dry under my bed, nearest I can tell. Haven't been able to fully get under there. There's still a little bit that I have to get up. I think under the door is still wet. And maybe a little bit more carpet over that way towards the chair that's there. But what I wanted to show you is the other reason that I believe we were having issues. And I'm hoping it's something that's easily repaired, but I don't know, and I don't know what can happen. It's this right here. Nearest I can tell, I have gotten the padding, as dry as it is, as far back as I could, and nearest I can tell, I think it stops right there. I'll try to dig a little further if I can, but I believe it stops right there. But there is a huge crack all the way through here. And this is the main subfloor, or main floor, or what have you, the cement flooring. And it goes all the way across, almost to the board. It starts, or the tack board, or what have you. Stops about right there, I think, give or take. Well, there's actually a minor fracture that kind of runs, I'm seeing here as I move this as best I can. It's a little hard to see now, I kind of messed it up, but that is probably why the water was seeping as well. So I'm hoping they can just come in and patch it, but we've got dry rot, obviously, as well. Nearest I can tell, this is a little damp here because I was dragging the pieces of padding and carpet. There's still some dampness that's here. I might have to pull that up as well because that was damp during the storm, during the typhoon. And now also there's this here that's going to need to be patched by this window. And according to the rules, I'm not supposed to be putting this stuff out here. But that's the soaking wet padding that is soaking the ground right now, the cement there. That's the carpet, and that's the other carpet there. So I am going to move it in just a bit, and probably leave it over in that area. So right now, whilst I'm cleaning up, though, it's going to have to be that way. This wood seems to be dried out. I don't know if it's going to be okay or not. This seemed to be a lot minor in damage. It was drier. Now, when you walk on it, the cement is still wet. It wasn't as soaked. However, I'm gathering it came in, the rain, water came in from over here, because you can see it's still kind of damp here, and all of this is dry rot wood. I'm going to have to pick this wood up because it's obviously dangerous for me and Akasha especially. I don't want either of us getting it in our foots or anything like that. Like I said, nearest I can tell, what I've been able to feel going and looking under the bed and feeling, I do not believe that it went under the bed. but it does start to smell much better in here for one thing. For another, like I said, the cement, it's still very damp in that sense. So that is what I have been dealing with this afternoon. And obviously the wood getting wet here was, dried out, damaged. It seems to have been dried out and it should be okay. Maybe it just needs to be restained. I don't know in that sense. But this, we're going to have to see if it actually still continues to dry out or if we have water still seeping from here. Like I said, there's probably I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch of water left, and I'm hoping it will dry out. One thing I was also thinking about as I was doing this with the carpet is I was having a wee chuckle because this reminded me of all my training, quote unquote, that I've had for this moment, so to speak, which is the fact that once I was married and my ex-husband, then my husband and I owned a home, although I didn't do all of it, I did help with some of it in helping the workers, in some cases, carry the carpet, and it was not me alone having to carry that carpet over there alone. Was very difficult for me. Having said that, it was funny because it was good training for me. And then also once I had the bus, once I lived on the mainland and I did the bus, for those of you who have been with me for a long time, I have a long story about all that, how the bus was vandalized by a supposed contractor. And then I ended up having to do some of the work myself, along with a couple other people that helped me and other contractors and other things. It was a whole rigmarole, and with my insurance and at the time and all of that. But doing all that work, I laid linoleum tile on the floor, subflooring, all sides, and it prepared me for all of that. So when I was cutting up this carpet and water damage that we had in another house that we lived in, I remember before we owned the house that we owned, and as I'm looking out here, they have a lot of theirs as well got taken off. So most of theirs got taken off. And as I showed you with mine, which you can't see from here, but we had some water damage in our house, and I had the X-Acto knife then, the what do you call it knife, the box cutter knife or whatever they call it now, taking out carpet and what have you, pieces, and moving things around. I mean, mind you, this was 20, 30 year gone now. So it was a long time ago, and I was much younger and much more able to do it now. And I know the rules, quote unquote, say that you can't have, and I moved all the padding from the last one, and I'll put this video together with the other video when I upload it. But I know the rules supposedly say you can't leave things outside your flat, but I can't. You can see from here all these steps, and I walked up before, and this is the way I use the grass path to go my bike because I can't do the steps, and I go all the way up there to the rubbish bin area. I can't drag that, it's too heavy. So they're gonna have to come get it, and I'm sorry it's out there, but I had to do what they couldn't do or are unable to do. I don't know what the situation is right now because I haven't heard from them, unless they sent me an email, and I have not looked yet. But nonetheless, it was just kind of humorous to me, thinking back on my life and all of the different things that I have been through and done in my life that has prepared me for something like this, of pulling up carpet and dealing with all sorts of malarkey like this. But at my age, I'm kind of over and done it with it, right? In that sense. So I have a little bit more cleanup to do, and then that'll be that. So we're gonna go outside here. So I want to show you a couple of things. That is the massive carpet, and at my age, it was very hard to do. Gotta tell you. I had to do what the property management company wasn't able to do. I have not gotten a hold of them. I haven't checked my email yet today, so I'm not sure if they have messaged me. I'm sure they're overloaded with requests, so I couldn't, for my health and well-being, I couldn't continue with it. So here we are. I had to do it. So I wanted to share this with you because as I had shared with you before, normally, oh God, that stinks. Okay, sorry. Normally that's that carpet. Normally on any given day, you cannot see through this. It was very eerie going down the path and up the path coming into the flats here today, because usually it's full with trees and brush and, you know, everything else, and it looks amazing. However, today, it just looked eerie, kind of like going into an eerie dark wood. So it was kind of strange, but I'm going to zoom out, zoom in a little bit so you can see. That is the sea. That's my sea view that I usually see from my bedroom window, which is about 500-600 meters from me, give or take. And normally, again, you can't see through. That's the main road that you normally can't see through, but you can now. So sorry if this is rattling a little bit. But to give you an update as well, a couple of things. If anybody here in my complex is watching, anybody on island up this way is watching, XO is new XO market. XO and the one next door, I believe is LB or LJ, whatever it is, the one next door is open. I did pop in there, got a few things on my way back home. I believe Twins is open. Twins Market is open, which is right here, basically a kilometer away. So some of the supermarkets are starting to open so that we can get basic necessities, which is nice. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do this. You may have to come and walk with me a little bit. Something I was free from noticing, there's roof tiles all over the place. Now that I noticed during the storm in the times that I've been out. My roof used to have shingles, and guess what? There are none. If there are, there may be pieces of, but there are none. So, and I wondered, and it could have been from the aircon that's in the house there, but when I went to go use my bike today, the handlebars were wet, and the electric was a little wet, although it dried when I was riding it, so it seems to be fine. No damage per se that I can see. It worked great and what have you. However, noticing that the tiles are off my roof, which means any more wind and rain from the typhoon, we could have been in for something serious. So updates on that. I'm hoping they'll just be able to repair or put tiles back on the roof and have to have a look at the roof and what have you. It may have had water that came through the aircon because that's where the bike sits, is right under the aircon. I don't use the aircon because I can't afford it here. I couldn't afford it on Maui either. Doors seem to be holding at the moment. They still need to be fixed. That's the awning, by the way, from my previous lives that all of you asked about. Where's the awning? That's the awning from the upstairs neighbor. The piece of wood, or sorry, shingle roof that came down that I showed you guys, that's where it was from. So, having said that, I have some other updates in case those on island have not heard, and I want to give a shout out to several folk. Actually, whilst I'm out here and I give the shout out, I'm going to take you on a walk here so you can see more of the mango tree and the damage and things like that. I want to give a shout out to IT&E, because IT&E, God bless them, I have the basic package. Basically, for cell phone and internet, I'm paying $128 a month. So I have the basic package with my cell phone and very little data. I think it's like 3 or 4 gig, whatever, something like that. And I actually went and topped it up and spent an extra $15 with them the other day when I had service before we lost service. And this also gives you a better idea of how close the ocean is as well. So you can see the sea right here, whereas normally you couldn't see it all. But it's, like I said, about 500 meters from me. And I went and drove that area, and it's just devastated. but here's some of the trees that have felled and the damage. I believe, I could be wrong, that may be the plumeria tree. It lost everything off of it, but it may still survive. I don't know. We'll see. But this is the damage of the mango tree, a little bit easier. But anyway, ITNE, the CEO was on, and I want to give a shout out to Brad, who does NMI News here. He has been exhausting himself to bring us coverage, and amazing man. And here's the irony. I mean, there's so many synchronicities I have to share with you. It's not even funny. I actually saw him in Jotun, Susupi. He was in the queue, a couple people before me, and he was just finishing. I caught him as he was walking out the door, and he didn't know me from Adam because he didn't remember the comments that I made to him on the live broadcast that he was doing, probably. But I stopped him. I asked him about his family, I believe it was his mother or mother-in-law who lost their home, completely destroyed. So they're going to be living with them, and his daughter's window got damaged after the typhoon. Thank goodness, but I think a tree or part of a tree, like what happened here. So here's, give you just a context, okay? Now you can see, I'm going to talk about him in a minute. But here's the bush that I was looking at out of my window doing my lives. Now, the mango tree has obviously moved a lot, because when it first fell, it felled right there, about an inch or two from my window there. And had it fallen any further, I wouldn't be living in this flat at the moment because it would have gone through my window. So sending some blessings. They have some damage in their house, Brad, but he has been giving the updates, and I thanked him for his helping us during this time to give us the updates and everything that needs to be given out to people so that we could, you know, be able to hang out in the sun, not hang out, but to understand the updates and be safe and know what's going on here on island. And so kudos to Brad. I thanked him in person today. I wasn't expecting to meet him at all. It was just obviously synchronicity. The other news is to go back to IAT&E. Because I have the basic package, and most folk do here on the island, ITNE is now covering if we go beyond our data plans. I topped up mine, spent the $15 for another, I don't know, 5 gig or whatever, just in case, ahead of time. However, the CEO and Brad had him on from NMI News, had him on, and you probably can see the live on the NMI News page on Facebook if any of you want to go look. He was on live, and the CEO, God bless him, he was amazing. He's like, you know, you folks shouldn't have to worry about being over your limits and being overcharged and what have you because of an emergency, because really that's the only connection some folk have here on island, because they don't have internet, or if they do, it's in places like Cha or some of the places that are now starting to open, but in the beginning, nothing, right? And so many people were worried about being overcharged. So he said, I think it was until further notice, I can't even remember what he said as far as time goes, but kudos to the CEO of ITNE. They have been fantastic. I was able to call them when it was down. They were able to get it back up here. I did happen to notice, by the way, and it's probably just directly in line on the other side of these flats down on the main road coming back, there are 4 wooden poles. There's still wooden poles here on the island. There's a lot of the cement ones, but there are still wooden ones. There's 4 of them, and on my way out to go to Jotun Susupi and a few other places to see if they were open and what have you, I did happen to notice they were leaning. Now, by the time I came back, they had cones up, and the electrics, I think it's CUC if I remember right, they were there with cones and what have you, because they bent even further. They were almost to the ground. So they're on it, and they are doing something to sort those poles. I'm surprised they are leaning as much as they are. I'm kind of surprised that they're now on the ground, to be fair. But bless them, they are out there already getting things sorted for us folks who have cars and what have you. And speaking of, cars, electrics, who need electrics and what have you. Speaking of cars, though, everywhere I went, I noticed. Everywhere I went, I noticed there was a line as far as you can see for the petrol stations that needed to open or were getting ready to open for fuel. So some of them are open. The Shell near the Ace Hardware, Nansasupi, the one closer up here, and many other places are starting to open so that you can get fuel. So if you're hearing this, hopefully you will be able to get fuel. So one more other thing of note was some other synchronicities that came up I wanted to share with you as well. As you're seeing the view of the ocean, got a nice clear view now. Is two things. One, on my way back through, my post box was open. They had zero lights, and the two ladies some of the crew, two of the ladies that I know were working in there, just in case any of us wanted to get stuff from our post box, which means the one supplement that I got a notification on, which was hilarious at the beginning of the Typhoon, that they had picked up, so just before all of the major stuff happened, they had picked up a delivery from the post office and brought it to the post box. One of my supplements for my kidneys actually was there, so I was actually able to pick that up today. Bless them, they are safe, they are okay, but their doors wide open, no lights, no nothing. They're waiting to get a generator so that they can go ahead and properly start working things. They have no idea when we're going to be able to start getting post here again. Of course, that's dependent on many things like the airport and what have you, which is why I'm glad I got what I got today. But beyond that, the other synchronicity is when I was at Cha having a coffee, I met an interesting woman, amazing and interesting. And it turns out she kind of still works for FEMA, but she is right in alignment with loads of things I have to share in my podcast about what really happened with this super typhoon. I will leave it at that, and we'll post to you more about that in the coming weeks. However, I did want to share with you that had I stopped at Cha, I mean, usually, actually what I did was I went through American Memorial Park. I didn't go over to the beach because I rather reckoned it was bad, and then on NMI news service they posted a live from there. I may still go over there just to see, but according to what I saw on the live, he shared there was an inundation of sand because the sea levels were so high, and you could see all the damage that was there. I mean, completely destroyed. Where I used to go and sit on the beach, completely destroyed. All those trees that were starting to fell anyway, that I've given you videos of over the last several months and last year and what have you, completely destroyed. I mean, it's like the sea line is completely different now. So I went by Memorial Park, though, the shortcut way I usually go to Micro Beach Road, and had to navigate some trees there and what have you, and being careful. And when I drove by Cha on my bike, I thought, okay, I'm just going to see how much damage they have. And I pulled up, and there was somebody standing outside, and I asked, how he was doing, if they were safe and everything else. And he said, yeah, he says, go on in. I was like, go on in? What do you mean? So they were open, and like I said on my other live, bless the owner, amazing bloke, and really appreciate him. And so I had a little bit of normalcy, which was nice. I actually got to have a coffee, and when I sat down to have my coffee and a chicken wrap, because I hadn't eaten anything, this woman and her, I think it was her father, were sat at the table, and she and I got to talking, and her, bless her goddess, she is very much in alignment with many things I've talked about on my podcast, my Soul Waves podcast. So stay tuned. I've got some really interesting things to share with you on that coming forward. So that's kind of the update here. I will keep you updated more as I can. And I love all of you. And hanging in there. Long road ahead.